all right, listen, we're temporarily gonna bring back the Reddit videos a little bit. I'm gonna get back into doing like somewhat regular things because I've discussed this. I'm my own worst enemy. I do reaction videos. I become known as maybe the guy that pauses a little bit too much, but consistency was there, and then I decide I don't want to do this anymore. Same thing happened with Reddit, and every single time it happens, would you? I know it sounds unbelievable, but it has a pretty strong effect on my viewership because I'm not consistent and I'm trying to be better, which is why we're going to be visiting Unpopular Opinion once a week, sorting by the top for the week, and just kind of discussing how we feel, okay? And we are sorting by top for the week because otherwise I'm just going to come across a bunch of posts that are like, Unpopular opinion, I enjoy strangling infants. And it's like, yeah, like, okay, that's an unpopular opinion, but like, I don't believe that you actually like strangling infants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you're lying. I know you want that sick Reddit karma because everyone knows that getting upvotes on Reddit, if you get enough, Reddit will send you a check to pay your power bill. Did you know that? I haven't paid for my power in years at this point. I've just been Reddit posting. I post Reddit like karma bait all the time, and all my bills are paid. Now you know why these Redditors take it so serious. Not being serious in your 20s is a recipe for failure. If there's one notion that is absolutely keeping people back, it's the idea that your 20s are somehow meant to be fun and exploratory. They should be. What's worse is that this is a very common piece of advice dished out by older adults, people whom these younger folk look up to for guidance. Almost everything in your life is determined by the time you hit 30. Debatable. Your career prospects, your relationships, your health habits, your degree of financial responsibility, and your hobbies. Can everybody that watches me, when you turn 30, let me know. If you're, if you're 18 now or whatever, 19, come back to me in 11 years. Keep up with the channel. I'm sure you will. Let me know if you feel like once you hit 30, you could no longer do new things. Because I don't think that's the case. I've seen plenty of people that are like in their mid 30s that just randomly decided to become jacked and eat healthy. And it worked out for them. They look great. You know what I mean? And not to bring up an example that pisses off like all of Twitter, although Twitter probably doesn't get bothered by this anymore, but J.K. Rowling, didn't she release the first Harry Potter book in like her 30s or 40s? It's one of those age groups, you know? She was going through some shit. She released it kind of late. I know people are mad at J.K. Rowling or whatever, but there's a lot of people that they figure it out in their 30s, 40s, and sometimes even 50s. But I understand to an extent. Yes, you can change some of these later, but most people don't. And those who do face disadvantages and struggles. Yes, some people make it in their 50s, but those are the exception to the rule and shouldn't constitute a model. I mean, I don't think that they do. That's kind of how success is in general. The vast majority of people are not going to achieve the same kind of success that a very small percentage of people are able to achieve financially, like career-wise. It's just not going to happen. Because it just doesn't work out that way. There's a finite amount of resources. Not everyone can have everything that they want. It's complicated. I don't think this has to do with age, though. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't matter if you were 20, 30, 40. Like, a 20-year-old is also kind of in a similar position. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yeah, they could make some drastic changes and build some habits that will allow them to be successful long into like adulthood and whatever. But most people don't. And that has nothing to do with being in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. I don't know. What's the top comment say? The only thing I agree with about this is finances. You should be as serious as possible about being fiscally responsible in your 20s. Yeah, I will agree with that. Because finances are kind of always just something that's always going to, be annoying your entire life. Even when you make a lot of it. Because then you find out, then you get the dreaded, oh man, this stuff doesn't buy happiness? Shit. But it does pay rent or mortgage or power. So that's sick. Much like Reddit Karma. Reddit Karma also pays bills. Rest of it, career, relationships, do whatever the fuck you want. Anytime in your life. All right. Not super. Apparently I saw this one. In chess, having no place to move your king should be a loss, not a draw. Oh yeah, I did see this one when I was just scrolling through on the toilet, and I have no opinion on this because I don't play chess. But apparently it's unpopular enough. By the way, upvotes mean that it's unpopular. That's a confusing, it's not really confusing. They basically state like if it's truly unpopular, then you upvote it. But people seem to like, it's really funny when somebody posts like a genuinely like unpopular opinion that's like I really disagree with you and I want to downvote you because you sound like an awful person. I want to downvote you for that, but I know I have to upvote you. because them's the rules. It doesn't stop people from, whatever. Doesn't stop them. But shoes off homes with dogs make no sense. Uh-oh. I get taking shoes and even outside clothes off coming into a home. I don't do it in my own home, but I get why people would want to. The world can be gross. I agree. But I also kind of think I understand where this guy's coming from. You know what I'm saying? There's a part of me that's like, there's a part of me that kind of thinks like, I mean, the dog's basically walking around in his boots all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like the dog is kind of always out and about. And that kind of has me thinking that maybe it really doesn't matter because we've all got dirty ass feet, especially him. He's not wearing shoes. One of my friends has a dog door. Her dogs go in and out multiple times per day, then inside, right past the pile of people's shoes at the door, all over the floors, the furniture, the beds. None of these homes seem to wipe their dogs' paw. Yeah, I know what happened here. You got mad because your friend told you to take off your shoes in the house? You're like, why would I do that? You have dogs, dumbass. I went to see an apartment. The woman handed me a pair of shoe covers. Baby, I could not get past the front door because the apartment smells so bad. I was gagging. I gave her back her shoe covers and left. What difference does shoe covers make if your home is filthy? Okay, that's just like a random thing you threw out there. Does anyone... This doesn't seem... I don't wear shoes at home because shoes aren't comfortable, not because it's dirty. I agree with you. But I do wear socks. Walking around the house, I do wear socks. Wearing socks, it doesn't feel like wearing shoes, but it feels better than bare feet around the house. I mean, carpet's carpet, but like on the hardwood floor, I prefer to be walking around in socks. I like sliding around. Anyways, I somewhat agree with this opinion. This unpopular opinion. The celebration of high school graduation is way overblown. Hard agree, brother. Hard agree. Father of a recent high school grad. I think people make way too big a deal about graduating high school as if it's some monumental accomplishment. It only take an unimpressive amount of intellect and effort to simply graduate. That's not necessarily true. I don't know if you know this, man, but people are... There's people that aren't quite making it happen. It's not happening. It's hard for some people. But yeah, I noticed that somewhere, I got distracted by this down here. Somebody saying it's more so a celebration of adulthood independence. I agree with that too. Like, it's not so much graduating high school that's super impressive. It's like being done with school, right? Like the education that you decide on after high school is your choice, right? You can decide to go to college. You can get in, you could go into a trade, or you could just start working at McDonald's. I don't know. But you're free to make those decisions. That's the exciting part. So maybe it's a little overblown, but also like, I know that I was excited when I graduated high school because I was ready to move out of my parents' house like immediately. And I had no issues with my mom or anything like that. It was just like, I just was excited to be out of my parents' house. But not everyone's like that. You know what I mean? Some people don't move out of their parents' house at 18. They move out in their 30s. Or later. Or never. If you are dating and their parents don't like you, it's best to leave the relationship ASAP. Hard disagree. First off, they could eventually like you. But also, who gives a shit? I'm not dating her parents. I'm now nearing my mid-30s and I've been reflecting on dating situations, and I feel the most important lesson I've learned is this. If someone is close with their parents' family and those people don't like you, once you find out, it is best for you to leave the relationship. Don't try to figure it out. Give the benefit of the doubt. Smooth it over. Don't do any of that. Just leave. I have a dating policy that if my partner's family hates me, my partner better be on my side about it. Now that. The contrarians did not like this take. This is perfectly reasonable. No, I think this is reasonable. Like, if your wife's parents or your girlfriend's parents, whatever, don't like you, whatever. But if she's like also just kind of like going along with them, like if they shit talk you and she either just lets it slide or like joins in. And this applies also if you're like a woman dating a man or if you're gay or whatever. If your partner's family doesn't respect you and your partner doesn't defend you, break up. That's the most r/relationship advice take, but break up. Margarine is not interchangeable for butter. Had breakfast at my friend's house this morning. And when I asked for butter for toast, she brought me margarine. I really had to reassess. I don't understand the purpose of margarine. It's cheaper butter. That's a popular opinion. Most people prefer butter. Margarine is just cheaper. Well, I'm glad that the first comment literally says exactly how I feel. It's just cheaper. It's cheaper butter. Butter is better, but butter's more expensive. That's whatever. When getting a gift for someone, it's better for it to be based on the giver's interest than the receiver's interest. People often say stuff like, I'm getting a gift for my friend and I know they're into quilting, so I want to get them a gift related to quilting. This creates several problems. The person buying the gift is stressed because they may know nothing about the hobby/interest. The person receiving the gift will probably get some junk they wouldn't pick themselves or they already have. But that could also happen if you just give them something that's not related to something they're interested in. Maybe other friends and family have the same idea, so all the gifts will be in a similar vein. No point in getting my mom a Warhammer model. Said she doesn't like Warhammer. True. I think he kind of made my point with the second part, but also it is a good point to like point out that like other people are probably going to get a similar gift. But like if I'm mad into quilting, I'm not going to be like, oh man, I got too much quilting shit. As a drummer, like, oh, I hate that people keep getting me like drum sets every year. Brother, I will never complain. Send me all the drum sets you want year after year. I'll find a place for them. I might sell some of them. We don't have unlimited space. But like cymbals, send them my way, brother. Send them my way. Don't worry. I won't get tired of it. People should only get married once in their entire life. Sometimes your spouse starts fucking someone else and there's nothing your sweet little heart can do about it, love. Kid Charlemagne the God. Oh, that's his actual... Okay. I firmly believe that people should only marry once in their life. So wishful thinking. I don't think there should be any laws or anything against it, but I feel there's a direct conflict with the idea of marriage and what it means to be married to have more than one. I mean, yeah, in theory, but there could be all kinds of reasons. Like somebody cheating. Or dying. Somebody could die. Or they might just kind of treat you like shit 5 years into the marriage. All kinds of things can happen. Most, if not all, people do have an internal monologue. People only think it's common not to because of miscommunication. Huh? I think not having an inner monologue is far rarer than people make it sound, and that discussions about mental visualizing and vocalization contain a lot of miscommunication and people talking past each other while meaning the same thing. People are typically not very good at describing inherently personal or very abstract concepts, and are also not usually that good at understanding what someone else actually means when they describe it. I've seen and heard several people who thought they didn't have an internal monologue because they assumed people meant they actually heard the monologue like an outside voice in the exact same way as a physical person talking to them IRL. That's quite a large misunderstanding. I would say that if the person doesn't understand that you don't have to actually physically hear the voice, is probably going through enough struggles. Like when I don't actually physically hear a voice. I don't know. It's like trying to ask someone who thinks they have aphantasia. Is that how you say that? What happens if they picture an apple in their mind? Do they assume you physically see one as if it's tangible and they're right in front of them, or that you just know what an apple looks like and can pretend there's one somewhere? It's all very subjective. Yeah, but some people truly don't have an inner monologue. I've actually ran into people like that. Like thought to speaking is instant, and I'm kind of like that too. Although I do still have like a very tiny filter that like pieces together certain things. I've met some people that just like they just be blurting out shit. Here's what I see all day. Do you feel short of breath, like you're having trouble breathing? Yes. Is it worse when you lay flat? Is that worse? You're breathing. I don't have no problems breathing. There's just no set of words in the English language you could string together in order to get someone like this to tell you if they have an internal monologue or not. Oh, this one's just going to turn into... It's just going to be mean. It's just going to be mean. Like, I've already kind of gone down that. Discord is destroying the internet. Huh? I don't know why we've effectively settled on chat rooms instead of forums. Because it's chat. How did that destroy the internet? You know what's destroying the internet? Social media, brother. Which I guess Discord would be included in that, but like Discord is not the same as like Facebook and Twitter. I feel way worse visiting those sites than I ever do like somebody's Discord. Because most of the Discords I join also are just like things I'm trying to learn in the moment. And I found a Discord of people that know what the fuck they're talking about so I can ask questions, you know? That the majority of Discords I've ever joined were so that I could just come along and ask a dumb question because I just didn't know the answer. There are Discord communities for everything, and they're used as the main hubs for communication and information exchange from games to programming languages, open source projects, and so on. You wanted to find some obscure way to figure something in a project you use on your PC, you use Google to search through forums, Stack Overflow, or whatever. Now that's no longer possible because most relevant information is hidden away in some Discord server you have to join. Debatable. I will say that there are Discords that it's felt like I had to join them because it's the only place I could get like a direct answer from somebody that clearly knew what they were talking about. But I wouldn't say that that's the only place that information was available. I just wanted the ability to be able to talk to somebody specifically that knew about the topic I was asking about instead of just like posting on Reddit and just like, and that's kind of also like something I wouldn't get from forums either. I mean, I might get them from forums, but I don't always get the answer from Reddit or forums. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't agree too hard. Pickles should not come standard on a fried chicken sandwich, then get them removed. Somehow, every restaurant decided that they should offer a fried chicken sandwich that comes with nothing on it but pickles. Why? I get adding pickles or other toppings on request, but why do I have to opt out of pickles? I guess. But then at that point, like you're going to have to start if you're going to start getting upset at pickles, then you have to understand that there's going to be people who are like, "Oh, you mean to tell me that I have to tell you I don't want ketchup? I have to tell you I don't want mustard. I have to tell you I don't want this." And maybe they could do that. Maybe they can. Well, I mean, maybe whenever you go to like McDonald's, you could just order a burger and then you decide that you want ketchup and mustard. But like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think the majority of people just don't mind the pickles. I think that's what's going on there. I think the majority of people want pickles on the chicken sandwich, or they don't mind the pickles on the chicken sandwich, so they just get them with the pickles. And the people that don't want the pickles are a little bit more limited, but they can always just say they don't want the pickles. Like, this is a non-issue strictly because you could just say you don't want the pickles, or you could just take them off. They're pickles. It's one thing when it's got like mayo and ketchup and all this other stuff. It's another thing when it's just like one of these chicken sandwich where all they have is pickles. Just take the pickles off, brother. It's right there. Use of QT words like kiddos, littles, hubby, and wifey make the speakers seem immature and infantile. Preggers makes me want to auto-defend. Listen, we don't need to be this dramatic about it. I know this is Reddit. The only one out of this list that bothers me is littles. I don't care about any of this shit. Okie dokie, Snow Queenie Bambini. Like, I do realize that we're on Reddit, so like we are eventually going to reach the point where people are like, I really hate when people smile and hug each other, and it's like, true. I also hate love, but this is obviously different. Like, I could understand how it could get annoying, but I never get bothered by it. And maybe it's because I know somebody that says kiddos. She's never really bothered me saying that though. I work with somebody that says kiddos, and it's never. I don't really know anyone that still says wifey or hubby. Well, no, I've seen hubby, but I've never seen wifey. But kiddos, I hear that all the time, and it doesn't have any effect on me. Well, the kiddos are going to go to school. It has zero effect on me. It's a QT word. It doesn't even make her seem immature and infantile too. She's very smart, so maybe I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a personal thing for you. Housekeeping, but it is an unpopular opinion, I guess. Housekeeping is completely unnecessary and annoying. I never have housekeeping visit my room when I'm staying in a hotel. I put the D&D placard up immediately when I first walk in. I don't want my stuff touched or moved, and God forbid I can't find something. I don't want there to be anyone to blame but myself. I mean, I kind of depend. I kind of agree. to be 100% honest with you, because I never use housekeeping. Like, even if I'm staying at a hotel for a week, I never use housekeeping. But I also like clean up after myself. So at the end of the week, the only thing that they need to, because I can just go and get towels. You know what I mean? At the end of the week, I take all of my like dirty towels. I put them in a section in the bathroom because they're just going to take them and throw them in a bin or whatever. So I put them all in one spot, and I do the same thing with the bed sheets. I take them and I just put them all in one spot so that's easy for them to just throw them, because they're going to have to wash them anyways. And then otherwise, I put my trash where it's supposed to go. If I'm staying there like a week, I'll probably end up taking trash and throwing it out in a different spot than just in the hotel. But I never use housekeeping. It's not unnecessary in a sense that like at some point they're going to have to come in there and they're going to clean it, but usually after I leave is what I'm trying to say. Oh, this is the last one we're going to look at. The fact that being likable as a person is more important than hard work in a corporate work setting makes absolutely no sense and contributes to the leveling down of society as a whole. Essentially this, I'm not saying people should go out of their ways to be a jackass or assholes. Why are we censoring jackass and assholes? For the love of God, we're all adults here. Didn't I just read a post like 2 posts up that was talking about using kiddie words? Stop censoring shit. We're all adults here. This is a grown adult Reddit. We don't have to censor ass. He censored holes too. It's harder to read. But the fact that being likable as a person is more important than hard work, results, and merit in a corporate work setting makes no sense. That's because people, they want to work with people that they get along with more than anything. And if you work really hard, but you're kind of an asshole, people just don't want to tolerate you. These days, working in a corporate setting is more like going back to high school, where being popular and well liked by your peers is a must. Okay, this is starting to feel like this is starting to feel a little weird. Like maybe it's a little personal. You get what I'm saying? Something about this feels oddly personal. It's starting to feel like high school, where I was bullied because I was a nerd. Quite often, this means that rigor and quality of work are subject to compromise, notably to avoid offending underperformers. This obsession with being likable has driven many talented individuals and high performers who wouldn't compromise on excellence to quit their jobs and start their own business. As a society, we're making ourselves collectively a disfavor. We are making ourselves collectively a disfavor by putting likability on a pedestal over excellence, results, and merit. It depends. This isn't something new these days. You can actually argue that it's less of a factor today than it was in the past. It's kind of true as well. Kind of true as well. The thing is, right? In order for me to understand where this guy or like where this guy is coming from, I'd have to see him in like an office environment, you know? Because sometimes you see a post like this and then you see the person and it's like when they say, like, the amount of times where I've seen somebody who's like, oh, I work so hard, and then I see that like they work a little bit harder than other people, but not really. But this other guy, like, sure, he doesn't work quite as hard as you, but he's also like super charismatic and cool. They get mad when that happens. I'm not saying that's the case here, but I've noticed it's happening on certain other, I've noticed it in other circles. But anyways, that's the last for the week. I'll see you guys next week.